Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the Apostate Prophet. In this video I will briefly explain what my plans are for this channel. Some of you, the ones who join me from Instagram and Facebook, know me already. I have been active on social media, specifically on Instagram and on Facebook, for about a year now, and I reached, with your help, 9,000 followers on Instagram and on Facebook each. I made constantly posts about Islam and about several other things sometimes, but mostly about Islam. It was generally discussions about Islam, facts about Islam, my opinion about Islam, what Western people think about the religion, and so on. I decided to be on YouTube. I actually made that decision long ago, but I had to wait. But now I think it's the right time and I'm here. Alright, let me talk a bit about myself and my experience. I call myself the Apostate Prophet because, you know, in Islam, if you leave the religion, you are considered an apostate and you deserve the death punishment. That is not a controversial information at all. That's basic Islamic knowledge. I left Islam 3 years ago. I made the decision 3 years ago. That's when I told myself that I'm not a Muslim anymore. That was such a relief. Thinking about the Abrahamic God, thinking about Judaism and Christianity. I studied those religions pretty much, and I thought more and more about it, and approaching the whole God thing rationally just didn't make sense anymore, so I became a convinced atheist, which I still proudly am. But I don't really identify as atheist. I identify more as an ex-Muslim. So I don't want to use that anti-theist, atheist stuff as some kind of identity. I really don't care. I mean, I don't believe in God, that's it. I was born in Germany. I lived in Turkey, where I moved to with my family later, unfortunately, and now I'm in the wonderful United States of America. It's beautiful. Okay, now, what is all of this about? Now, you come on my page and see that there is a picture, a poorly drawn cartoon of some very holy person that we all respect. Well, this person is the Prophet Muhammad, the prophet of the religion of peace, Islam. So looking at that picture, you might of course have the idea that it's totally some kind of just fun, just laughter, just mocking people and just making fun of it. Well, you're right, that's a part of it. But it's more about information. So I spent 10 years in Turkey, where I moved with my family. And Turkey is a country where people don't actually know much about religion. I mean, they practice the religion. They all call themselves Muslims. I mean, more than 90% of the population believes in the religion, but not many people know about it. Well, what I did there is, because I care so much about the things that I affiliate with, I joined a Sunni Sufi order. I will explain it later. And in that order, I had there was discipline, there was order, and there were lots of resources. So I decided to just practice the religion and to study it more and more. But all the study that I did there, and all the practicing that I did willingly every day, informing people, trying to convert people, talking to other people, dressing like a lunatic, more devotion and wisdom every day, just led me to disbelief. And that is really the only outcome. If you care about people and yourself, if you study everything about Islam, if you value rationality, and you are honest with yourself all along, that is really the only outcome. I can carefully say that I know more than 85% of all Muslims about Islam. And I don't want that knowledge all to be just, washed away and just to disappear. I want to spread that knowledge, especially because Islam is nowadays a subject that everyone has an opinion about, but only a tiny minority actually knows about. So it's very easy that people who know about Islam might, for the sake of their religion, mislead you. Well, what I want to do on this channel here is I want to inform you about the religion. And I want to give you sources for everything that is said. Whenever I tell you something about Islam, if I didn't do it before, I want to give you the sources for everything that I talk about. Especially the most important things like killing ex-Muslims. I have no problem with people just based on their ideology or on their religion. I mean, I have been in so many different circles in my life. So I know that people can change their minds and that people can be perfectly nice, perfectly great people actually, who are just in oblivion due to their weird beliefs that tell them to do or to excuse specific things. Don't mistake me for those weird people outside who walk around with torches. Now, few points. I want to share experience, information, and my perspective on things on this channel. I want to do factual criticism. Now, there are many people online who do this, who decide to build an account about Islam, to post things about Islam. But to be very honest, I see a lot of misinformation there. I wouldn't have a problem with that if everything was just about making Islam bad. But that's not what this is about. Because if someone who doesn't agree with you comes to you, listens to what you say, and you say them totally false, totally wrong things, and this person goes through some fact-checking, then this person won't believe you anymore. He won't trust you anymore. That's why I want to criticize, but always stick to facts. I will talk a lot about history. I'm even planning on doing some history series because many people have no clue about Islamic history, and many people who tell us in the West, well, we did this to them and we did that to them, and don't you remember the Crusades? Don't know about the history of Islam. So I'm a history geek, and I will tell you everything I know about it. And finally, I make fun about everything, so don't be so fucking offended. You can make fun of me. I won't come to you and will go to Papa YouTube or Mama Instagram or something and cry and tell them to shut you down because you said that I talk weird, or I don't know. And today we are told that we should never criticize Muslims, never criticize Islam. I should never criticize a religion that tells me that I should be killed by Muslims. Explicitly. That's what it says. And I shouldn't criticize it because that creates hate. Wow. And people are offended. Offended. Grow the fuck up. Muslims are certainly not the people that get the most of hate everywhere in the world. They're not. It's not because everyone is unfair to them or because they have a beautiful culture that needs to be protected. No, it's basically just about how sensitive Islam is. And sorry, but I don't care about that. That's pretty easy. While I believe in total freedom of speech, there are of course things that I need to clarify, things that I couldn't clarify before on my page because, I don't know, explaining things on Instagram is a bit difficult. Well, first off, I don't do porn, even though Facebook thinks so. No. I've addressed this subject before, but it's important to point out that I don't do in any way false information. Whenever I see something online, I go immediately and make some fact-checking to see if that's even true or not before I believe it and before I spread it. I read if it's true or not, if it's made up or not, and I think everyone should do the same thing nowadays. I mean, we are online, a lot of people share things, even very, very, very credible sources share information that is sometimes wrong, even if it's something about Islam which would only help me. I would go and point out that the shared information is wrong, and that we should stick to factual criticism. I'm not an enemy of any political side, like modern liberals. I can only go after apologists, after Islam apologists, and for a reason, I don't apologize for any other religion. As we all know, all ex-Muslims are Zionists who are funded by Mossad, by Israel, and we are also Christians at the same time. Yeah, of course. No, I'm an atheist. I said before, I don't hate all religions equally, but I'm an atheist. I might make comparisons here and there between Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It's not because I like to do those things, it's just because apologists nowadays force us to do those things. So I might make a comparison of Christianity and Islam in history, which doesn't mean that I am for Christianity or that I'm a Christian. There is no censorship on my channel. You can hear offensive things everywhere today. You can hear it on TV, you can hear it in a song, you can read it online or see it online, see it on the street. If you don't want to hear something, if you can't deal with things, you need probably professional help, or you just need to grow up. If you are offended by anything that I say, go listen to Trevor Noah. And the last and the most important point, this is actually what this is mostly about. There is no personal humiliation or anything in that form. I mean, I can humiliate you very much by presenting arguments. But it is interesting that I have been on social media for over a year now, and I have never gone on accounts where Muslims are present and try to harass them or anything in that way. I don't do that, you know. I'm always in my own sphere or around those who do similar things. I don't visit people who hold ideologies that I hate and go and try to, I don't know, insult them or anything in that way. And you don't need to do that either. Islam doesn't belong to you. You just believe in it. It's just an idea. You believe in it, you think it's great, you think it's awesome, you can talk in a good way about it, I can talk negatively about it, I have every right to do so, and you can't deny me that. And to be very clear, we all know that pro-Islamic opinions are much more favorable today. They are allowed, they are appreciated. I am called an Islamophobe just when I disagree with Islam. I am here to speak out my opinion about Islam. If you have a problem with it, deal with it. Otherwise, you can just pray for my destruction or anything, but that hasn't worked so far, as you can see. Just go for it. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to follow me on social media, especially on Instagram and on Twitter. I'm very active on Instagram. I'm newly active on Twitter. The next video will have a good topic. It will be informing. It might be a bit offensive. That's okay. If you want to support me, you can support me on Patreon. The links are below in the description. I really want to build this up, and I really want to focus on doing this. So, see you next Friday. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and stay away from Islam.